Imagine being an 8-year-old boy and being forced to eat cat feces out of a litter box. 8 years of your life and all you know is pain and suffering. When you were born, your mother had no love for you, so she shifted you off to your grandparents. But by 7 years old, she regained custody of you and you were forced to live with her and her new partner, and like 2 of your half siblings. Because you leave your grandparents, you have to go to a new school. And once you get into a new school, within 1 week, you're reported to CPS. CPS gets involved because of all the bruises on your body, and you also ask your teacher, is it normal for you to bleed when your mom beats you with a belt? Unfortunately, CPS closed the case because they felt like you were in no immediate type of danger. When you get home, your parents are very angry and they deprive you from food and water. They decide to punish you by beating you with a wooden bat and a belt. And once they were done, they locked you up in a cabinet and told you had to stay there and tied ropes around your legs and your arms so you wouldn't move. The next day, they untie you and they send you to school, but they send you to school in girl clothes to embarrass you as another form of punishment. One day after your beating, your mom decides to severely punish you by making you eat cat feces. Once you vomited that out, she forces you to eat the vomit and then beats you some more, ties you back up, and then shoves you in a cabinet. Now, at this point, you just want to die. You don't want to be there and you feel like death is the only solution because you're just so tired of the beatings and the pain because you just don't receive any type of love from your mom or your father. So you get to school and you write a suicide note, but your teacher sees it and reports it to CPS again. CPS decides to intervene and then asks your parents that, if anything happened to you. Your parents just said no. They didn't even check in with you. And then they close the case again. For the next couple of days, you went to school with a shaved head, a swollen face, a black eye, and bruises all over your body, belt marks all over your body, and your teachers said nothing. Days later, paramedics come to your house and they find you. You have rope marks on your ankles and your wrists, cigarette burn marks all over your body, bruises all over your body, and you have BB gun pellets embedded into those bruises. Your 2 front teeth was knocked out, your skull was fractured, and 3 of your ribs were broken. Not to mention you smell like vomit and urine, and you were extremely malnourished. You arrived to the hospital, but unfortunately for you, you died 2 days later. This was the case of 8-year-old Gabriel Fernandez. He was failed by his parents, he was failed by the system, he was failed by his teachers, he was failed by CPS. This boy grew up and knew nothing but pain. 8-year-old Gabriel Fernandez was tortured by his mother and his stepfather. And if you want to see this case, just look up his name on Netflix. It should pop up, or you can look it up on YouTube.